I never imagined that selling my company for $50 million would lead to the most explosive betrayal of my life and the sweetest revenge anyone could dream up. But let me start from the beginning, because this isn't just a story of heartbreak. It's a masterclass in rising from the ashes, with twists that'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about love, loyalty, and cold, calculated payback. Picture this. I'm Elena Vargas, 38 years old, a self-made powerhouse in the tech world. I built my startup from a dingy garage apartment into a multi-million-dollar empire specializing in AI-driven cybersecurity. Sleepless nights, endless pitches to skeptical investors, and more ramen noodles than any human should consume. But it paid off. After years of grinding, I got the call. A massive conglomerate wanted to acquire us for $50 million. Cash, no strings. I was on cloud nine, racing through the city streets in my beat-up old sedan. Yeah, I hadn't splurged yet. Heart pounding with excitement. I couldn't wait to tell my husband, Marcus. He was my rock, or so I thought. The man who'd stood by me through the early failures, the late nights, the doubts. We met in college, bonded over cheap coffee and big dreams. Married for 12 years, no kids yet. We were waiting for the right time. Little did I know, time was running out on us.
I pulled up to his office building downtown, a sleek glass tower where he worked as a high-powered financial consultant. The deal had closed that morning, and I wanted to surprise him. Burst in, pop a bottle of champagne, non-alcoholic since he was sober these days, and plan our future. A dream house in the Maldives? Early retirement? Philanthropy. The world was ours. But as I approached his corner office on the 15th floor, I heard it. Laughter. Not just any laughter. Sultry, flirtatious giggles mixed with his deep, familiar chuckle. My stomach twisted. I paused outside the door, which was slightly ajar. Peeking through the crack, I saw them. Marcus, my Marcus, with his arms wrapped around his secretary, Leela. She was perched on his desk, her skirt hiked up, his tie loosened. They were toasting with actual champagne, real stuff, bubbles fizzing like my world was about to explode. "To us," he whispered, clinking glasses, "and to finally getting rid of that ball and chain wife of yours. Once the divorce papers are signed, we can live like kings." My blood ran cold. Divorce papers? What the hell? I hadn't signed anything. But there it was, on his desk, a stack of legal documents, my name typed neatly at the top. He was planning to leave me after everything? And worse, he knew about the sale. How? I hadn't told a soul except my lawyers. Unless, oh God, flashbacks hit me like a freight train. Marcus had access to my emails, my files. He'd helped with the negotiations, offering advice on the financials. Had he been playing me all along? I didn't burst in. No dramatic scene, no tears. Not yet. I slipped away quietly, my mind racing. Back in my car, I called my best friend, Sarah, a shark of a lawyer who'd been with me since the startup days. "Elena, what's wrong? You sound like you've seen a ghost." "More like a snake," I hissed. "Marcus is cheating, and he's plotting to divorce me right after I cash in on the deal." Sarah didn't miss a beat. "Get to my office now. We'll bury him." That night, I didn't go home. I crashed at Sarah's, poring over every detail. We dug into our prenup, ironclad, but he'd been sneaky. Turns out, he'd amended it quietly last year, claiming it was for tax purposes. If we divorced before the sale, he'd get half. But post-sale, he'd argue for more, citing emotional support during the build-up. The bastard had timed it perfectly. But I wasn't done, not by a long shot. While Sarah prepped the countersuit, I hired a private investigator. Discreet, expensive, but worth every penny. Within 48 hours, the PI delivered a bombshell report. Marcus wasn't just cheating with Leela. Oh no, this went deeper. He'd been embezzling from his clients, funneling money into offshore accounts. And Leela, she wasn't just his secretary, she was his accomplice. They'd been siphoning funds for years, using my company's name as a front in some deals. My AI tech had unknowingly shielded their scams. Ironic, right? The cybersecurity queen taken down by her own husband. But the real twist? Marcus had a secret family. Yeah, you heard that right. In a quiet suburb 2 hours away, he had a mistress, not Lila, another one, and 2 kids, ages 5 and 3. Photos attached. Birthday parties, soccer games, him playing the doting dad. My heart shattered, but rage fueled me. How long? Since before our wedding? The PI traced it back 8 years. He'd been living a double life, funded by his fraud. I confronted him that weekend. Not at home, too personal. I invited him to a fancy restaurant, the kind with white tablecloths and overpriced wine. He showed up smirking, thinking it was a celebration. "Babe, congrats on the deal. We're rich." I slid the PI's folder across the table. His face drained of color. "What is this?" "Your downfall," I said calmly, sipping my water. "Divorce papers. Mine this time. And oh, the FBI might be interested in those offshore accounts." He stammered. "Elena, wait! It's not what it looks like. Lila means nothing. The money was for us." "Us?" I laughed bitterly. "You mean you, Lila, and your secret kids?" "Yeah, I know everything." Panic set in. He begged, pleaded, even cried. Pathetic. But I wasn't there for reconciliation. I was there to hook him deeper. "Tell you what," I said, leaning in. "Sign over your share of everything. House, cars, accounts. Walk away clean, and I won't tip off the authorities." He signed. Trembling hands, but he did it. Thought he was getting off easy. Little did he know that was just phase 1. Phase 2, revenge amplified. With my $50 million windfall, I didn't retire. I pivoted. I launched a new venture, a nonprofit foundation exposing corporate fraud and supporting women in tech who've been betrayed. But here's the genius part. I used my AI expertise to build an whistleblower app. Anonymous tips, blockchain-secured evidence, direct lines to law enforcement. And guess whose scams were the first to go viral? I anonymously submitted the PI's findings. Within weeks, the story exploded. Headlines: top financial consultant busted in multi-million-dollar embezzlement scheme. Marcus arrested at his office, handcuffed in front of Leela, who turned state witness to save her skin. His secret family? Exposed too. The mistress sued him for child support, draining what little he had left. But I didn't stop there. I tracked down his victims, clients he'd robbed. Using part of my fortune, I reimbursed them personally. Press conferences, interviews. Elena Vargas, from betrayed wife to fraud fighter. My foundation raised millions more. I became a symbol of empowerment. TED Talks, book deals, even a Netflix docuseries in the works. And Marcus? Last I heard, he's rotting in federal prison, serving 15 years. No conjugal visits from Leela, she ghosted him. His kids? I set up anonymous trusts for their education. Not for him, for them. Innocence in his mess. As for me, I'm thriving. New love? Maybe. But first, I'm building an empire twice as big. Ladies, gentlemen, if life hands you betrayal, don't just survive. Strike back. Make it legendary. And that's my story. If you're watching this and feeling stuck, remember, your comeback can be epic. Hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life twists, and share your own revenge tales in the comments. Who knows? Yours might inspire the next viral hit.